welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. Today's program topic is keyboard affordance, human-computer interaction, and multilingual multicultural adaptation. The program is based on the content of the research paper with the identical name, and therefore it touches only a few important points of the article. If you choose to read the article, you will be able to familiarize yourself with studies and articles on this topic, explore more about QWERTY and its alternatives, keyboard's functionality, KLM GOM's models, optimization, ergonomics, human-computer interaction process, as well as recommendations to existing limitations of multilingual keyboards. Define the roles of Unicode Consortium and UNESCO in technological localization and standardization. But before I continue, I would like to introduce you to a special guest who is here with me today.
Hi, I'm Kibi. Nice to meet everyone.
Well, her name is Kibi, and Kibi has a little secret. She is invisible. In this situation, Kibi is the winner, but sometimes she is upset because people simply do not notice how pretty she is. Anyways, recently Kibi virtually traveled to several places of the universe and discovered some unique pictures that she's anxious to share with us today. Thank you very much, Kibi. That is very nice of you.
No problema.
Alright, let's get back to the program. After listening to the program, you will be familiar with several keyboard designs, the QWERTY standard and its alternatives, multilingual keyboard capabilities and limitations, and finally you will learn QWERTY standard multilingual adaptation. Let's begin. Keyboard modern designs. Keyboards differ in size, shape, color, assembly materials, and building accessories. They can be single layout or multilingual, bilingual. There are several features to multilingual keyboards design. For example, the keyframe labels, which stick on the key tops of the keyboard, reliable keys with a snap-on structure, custom keys, those that fit the tastes of the users, or keyboards with projected letter characters, liquid crystal displays, and light-emitting diodes. Well, why is it QWERTY and what are its alternatives? Christopher Latham Schultz solved the problem with key jamming in the typewriter, which resulted in the QWERTY layout. QWERTY following the first 6 letters on the left top of the keyboard layout. Later, the QWERTY was successfully incorporated into the Schultz and Glidden typewriter of 1876, Remington machine number 1, and a multi-user computer system with a video display terminal feature that allowed seeing, editing, and even deleting the typed text. Numerous individuals had alternative layouts that were more comfortable and more optimized. However, for some reason, they have failed to gain popularity at the market. Among the prominent opponents of QWERTY were Gilbrecht Studies, Dwork's Alternative Layout, Norman, Mackenzie, Giant Smith Alphabetic Layout Studies. Let's look at some capabilities and limitations of a multilingual keyboard. First, let's look at some capabilities. Multilingual keyboard is a compact and useful affordance. It makes text visible. It improves human-machine interaction and human-to-human communication. It helps to preserve historical, cultural, and linguistic heritage of the nations. And it extends access of individuals to local and international treasures of databases. Now let's look at some limitations. Some multilingual keyboard layouts, including the QWERTY standard, experience difficulties with optimization. The optimal keyboard is evaluated by time efficiency, speed of typing, comfort of use, low error rate, and more. The efficiency of a keyboard design layout can be tested by KLM GOM's models that predicts user performance with a particular interface and can be used to filter particular design options. Multilingual keyboard may not be useful for those who are not familiar with foreign keyboard layout. The example of this limitation is a native African user with a keyboard that only contains Chinese characters. Next, multilingual keyboard may contain characters that are not included in the Unicode standard of codes, and therefore such characters will not be displayed with 100% accuracy. The Unicode Consortium is designed to support the worldwide interchange and display of the written texts of the diverse languages and technical disciplines of the modern world. In addition, it supports classical and historical texts of many written languages. Multilingual keyboard may experience problems with localization and standardization due to linguistic and cultural differences. Two things are important to consider: technological localization that occurs when countries are approaching the development of technological standards that are modified to fit their national local values. And keyboard standardization is the process of fitting a foreign language characters under the QWERTY standard layout. Localization and standardization is not a great challenge when the languages are similar to the QWERTY standard, but rather when they're different. For example, it is hard to fit the extended number of characters onto the keyboard designed to host only a 26-character alphabet. For instance, thousands of Chinese radicals, or Cyrillic alphabet with its 33 letters, or the extensive Arabic layout with more than 20 variations, or African multilingual keyboards, and more. Furthermore, there are some world regions where numerous cultures live close and do not have a single official language. For example, European Union or African indigenous nations. So what's the alternative to multilingual keyboard? Besides the multilingual keyboard, one can use a keyboard with solely QWERTY layout to communicate with someone, even without switching between language platforms. The method of romanization or a certain transliteration is used when a foreign language is expressed by using a closest corresponding letter of a particular word. For example, it becomes difficult to type Japanese kanji on a single standard QWERTY keyboard. Therefore, traditional Japanese script can be substituted with transliteration. すべては春に美しいです which means everything is beautiful in the spring. One more example. Spanish is similar to QWERTY, but differs with a few special marks over the letters. Therefore, the user of Microsoft Word has the option to switch to a version using Spanish characters or use transliteration. ¿Por qué esta niña está llorando? Which means, why this little girl is crying. Some people are critical of transliteration because it encourages incorrect grammar and loss of linguistic identity. But for others, it can be a great option and may be the only way to communicate with one another. Well, Kibi, are you satisfied? Since I'm going to share your pictures with the audience. Okay, let's quickly summarize the important points of today's program. So what was the program about?
The keyboard!
That's right, Kibi. And who is the father of the modern QWERTY keyboard layout standard?
Christopher Latham Sholes!
Correct. We also familiarized ourselves with standardization and localization, capabilities and limitations of multilingual keyboard layout, and learned the principles of QWERTY adaptation into multilingual communication. Multilingual technological designs and human-computer interaction may not be ignored. Now we understand not just the technical part of the mechanism, but also various geographical, cultural, and linguistic factors that influence the development of keyboard layout structure. Collaborative work of computer specialists, psychologists, and linguists is necessary during and after multilingual layouts creation. If you would like to learn more, you're more than welcome to read the article itself. And for now, Kibi and I would like to thank you for your time and hope you have learned something from this program. Goodbye!
Ciao!
pictures are interesting and beautiful.